Hello everyone and welcome back to Classic Cricket Matches. Today I have highlights from one of the ODIs from the England tour to Pakistan in 2005. This was the second ODI of the 5 ODI series. Now I apologize for the version of the highlights that I have here. They're actually taken off a talk show. You have to understand, I got all these clips on my computer many years ago, so I just got them from various sources and didn't do any proper recording of these games. So what you're going to see here is just very brief highlights of the game. This game takes place in Lahore, and England had won the toss and elected to bat first. However, the Pakistani bowlers were right on top of them from the very start. Pretty much all the Pakistani bowlers chipped in with wickets here and there, but the chief wrecker in charge was Shoaib Akhtar, who took a 5-wicket haul, but mostly took his wickets, believe it or not, with the slower ball and not his usual pace. We'll briefly show the highlights here of Shoaib Akhtar and even Rana Naveed picking up those wickets, and Pakistan had to chase 231 runs to win, and Kamran Akmal, who was inserted as opener, made a very fine 102 runs off 111 balls. This was his second ODI century. Anyways, enjoy the highlights and the post-match analysis and interviews by both sides. And before we begin, I'd like to ask you to please press that subscribe and like button, as it would really help this channel. Anyways, please enjoy.
Overs to spare, and they have levelled the series 1-all. Shoaib Akhtar named man of the match, and gentlemen, I don't think there'll be any
Pindi boy.
Don't think there'll be any arguments sat here.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a Pindi boy, and I'm really proud of him. I'm really happy for him. I mean, he was struggling before this series. He had a very good series. When I met him in England, he was really struggling. He was dropped from Pakistan selectors, and he struggled for Worcestershire as well. But the way he came back throughout this series is amazing. This morning when he came in, first one day, he didn't bowl quick enough. He was bowling in the bracket of 140 and 145, but today he was running in, bowling 148 and 152 bracket. That's what I think he was told by Pakistan, that we want you to bowl quick, get us wickets. That's the only chance on these sort of wickets you get.
He really came out all firing today. He was too quick for Ian Blackwell there, Bob. He's mixing raw pace with some clever, disguised slower balls.
Well, Ramiz Raja there at the presentation ceremony asked him about this slower ball, and it is perfectly disguised. The England batsman totally.
I think he gifted that wicket to Rana when he was struggling. He was hit for 5 boundaries consecutively, and they let him come back. Rana is a very good bowler, but to me this morning he was trying too many different things. When
Lucky with this pull shot, you can see the disgust in his face as he manages to pick out the
I
fielder.
think both Peterson's shot and Flintoff's a little bit optimistic with the state of the game as it was at that particular time. But, you know, if it flies over the fielder's head and goes for 4, he's off and running, you know.
Things with a partnership of 100. And Liam Plunkett, for me, just seems to be getting better and better. I know he's only played 2 one-day internationals, but he's obviously got a very cool head, something that Triscothick said at the end in the interviews after Game 1.
Yes, he shows great maturity. And England for years have been looking for a frontline seam bowler that could possibly bat as high as 8 in the one-day batting order. We may be looking at him there. You know,
Akhtar, who's bowling at 95 miles an hour, but he was quite exceptional at the top of the order today. Is this
very
the new Adam Gilchrist, perhaps we're saying?
A very talented boy. I mean, having Moeen and Rashid sitting on the bench, he was under pressure when he came in the side, but the way he's playing this role is brilliant to see him. And especially when he plays that cover drive, it's his trademark. England fed him there, well, played all around the wicket.
Played with a lovely straight bat as well early on in his innings, some lovely drives down the ground, full face of the bat there. How will he go with this technique in English conditions? I suppose it's all very well to sit here and say, well, yes, he's the greatest thing, but it is different. He will have to adapt this style in England. Would that be fair, Bob?
yes, and Salman Butt, his opening partner, will have to as well, because the ball moves around. You know, Kamran Akmal's initial movement is slightly to the leg side. He likes to give himself an enormous amount of freedom on the offside. He'll have to tinker that, but I think with Bob Woolmer's help and the experience of the other players, particularly Inzamam, who just looks a real diamond at the moment. He and Lara head and shoulders above everybody in the world in terms of batting form. currently. Those experienced players who've been to England before will certainly help him along.
OK, we'll leave it there, gentlemen. Let's hear a little bit more from Marcus Trescothick. He's talking to Paul Allen.
Well, Marcus, that was a bit of a disappointment, wasn't it?
Yeah, a disappointment for sure. After the obviously after the win on Saturday, things were looking pretty rosy and we played really well in that game. But we just didn't perform today. We didn't get the runs we needed. Didn't get the partnerships together early on in innings, and you're always going to come up short if you don't do that.
I said to you at the toss when you jiggled around with the side, you didn't need the extra batsman, but you were quick to say, well, we're not sure whether we do or not.
Yeah, well, after the other day, I think we all looked at it and probably realised, we're having 9 or 8 or 9 batters was quite a lot. But you never know in this game. If you get too clever on it, sometimes it comes back to bite you. But it's just the way it is. You got to, with the super subs nowadays, you got to try and take a bit of a gamble here and there. Obviously, the toss is important to generally how it dictates that.
Shoaib bowled well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's bowled really well in the last couple of months. He's taken key wickets of big players. It's just proved really tricky. Obviously, got a different variation. He's got bowls quick, and he bowls a bumper, he bowls a Yorker, he bowls a good slow ball. So he's always challenging. Whatever the wicket's like, you always got to watch him.
It was another good day for Liam Plunkett, wasn't it, with the bat this time?
Yeah, really encouraging to see Liam. Obviously, Saturday was brilliant for him the way he bowled. But we've been crying out for bowlers who can bat in the England team for a few years now, and to come out and play like he did was really encouraging.
Now, it looks to me you might have a bit of a problem with Kevin Peterson.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at it over the next couple of days. But obviously, you could see he was struggling today. We'll just have to see how he pulls up tomorrow and make an assessment. We've got a couple of days in between the next game, so we'll make a judgment then.
Just moving on, it was announced today that Troy Cooley's going to be leaving the England setup and going to Australia. Does that come as a bit of a shock and a surprise to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's probably over a matter of time, obviously, with Troy coming from Australia. But I didn't realise it was probably going to happen this quick. Really, it's a big blow for us because he's been with us pretty much for the good times that we've had since we've sort of really picked our cricket up. And he's been a big part of our young guys sort of maturing and becoming a good unit as a bowling group. But it's obviously understandable going back to Australia where he's from.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant job. He'll be difficult to replace, won't he? Yeah,
he will be. But it obviously leaves an opportunity for somebody else. So there's some good bowling coaches back in England. We have to make sure that obviously the ECB have to make sure we get another good one.
What's Duncan Fletcher's reaction to that?
Exactly the same. We're obviously very sad to lose him because Duncan and Troy have been very closely together, as we are with Matt Maynard as well. So it's sort of get his thinking cap on over the next sort of week or months or whatever to try and find a replacement.
Okay, thanks very much, Marcus. We'll see you in Karachi.
Cheers.
Yeah, just to completely remind you, Troy Cooley, the England bowling coach, will leave his post with the ECB in May 2006. Done a cracking job. That'll be 3-4 years he's done with the ECB, and I think we're all in agreement he's worked wonders with some of the bowlers. One bowler I'd like to talk to in particular who didn't play today, and I wonder how significant it was because he was subbed because England didn't get enough runs on the board. They had to bring Vikram Solanki in, is James Anderson. Swings it. White ball swings. Now, we saw Shoaib, albeit with express pace, but swinging the ball. The ball didn't swing for England's bowlers today, as well as Kamran Akmal played.
Yeah, it's so sad for James Anderson. He missed out in the Test series. Plunkett made his debut in the Lahore Test match. James missing out there. And once again, almost the first person always to be disposed of is James Anderson. Yeah, I felt for him today. He might have had something to offer with a new ball, but you're not likely to leave Plunkett out after his efforts, and you're certainly not going to leave Harmison or Flintoff out. So, because of England's failure with the bat, unfortunately, he got the chop.
Well, Liam Plunkett was outstanding on his debut, and he was outstanding with the bat in Game 2 from Lahore. Let's hear from him. He's also with Paul.
Quite as good as Saturday, but you did well with the bat today.
Yeah, it wasn't too good with the ball today, but I was happy I got 50 with the bat. I really enjoyed it. It was good.
Plenty of responsibility on you as well down the bottom of the order.
Yeah, I went in, just tried to build a partnership with Collingwood, but then obviously got out and me and Vic put on a 100 partnership. Just tried to knock the ball around and just stay out there as long as possible, really, and paid off in the end.
Wasn't such a bad pitch after all, was it?
No, it wasn't. I thought it was a bit slow, but it wasn't too bad the way they batted on it. I thought myself bowled a bit disappointing and let them get away a bit easily, so it wasn't to be.
Yeah, well, it's difficult when you're bowling at a target that was probably 50 runs short. You had to pull out all the stops to try and get wickets all the time, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I tried to get wickets too early and to just concentrate on hitting the pitch, stopping the singles and the boundaries. Try to take wickets probably wasn't the best thing.
First impressions of one-day international cricket then?
Yeah, ups and downs. I think it's been a bit of fun. It's good. It's hard cricket, obviously, at the top level, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, best of luck in the rest of the series.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
So again, just to recap, the Pakistani bowlers were on top of the English side. A good late order partnership between Liam Plunkett, who made his ODI 50, and Vikram Solanki helped push the English total to a competitive 230. However, the Pakistani reply was very good, and Kamran Akmal scoring a century helped Pakistan win this game by 7 wickets. Again, I apologize for the unorthodox way these highlights were presented. That's all I had from this game, and I'll just give you a brief highlight of what happened. Pakistan ended up winning the first 3 games, and then England won the last 2 games, helping Pakistan win the series 3-2. Anyways, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed these unusual highlights. Please stay tuned. I'll try and bring you better clips next time. Until then, goodbye.